Yeah, right about now, I think is a good time. Yeah.
Wiener.
Put it on.
Support bra.
Put it on here. Come on, let's put it on right now.
We've fallen and we can't get up.
Wendy, I took a little time to prepare some notes. Now, I have honored you. Do you know that Dawn, would you read your name tag? It's Dawn Hennel. Her kids are Kyle Hennel, Kari Hennel, and Kella Hennel. We're not sexist here. You know, I was with Wendy when she met Dawn. I was with Wendy when she broke up with Dawn for 4 years. And I was with Wendy and Dawn when they got back together. Do you remember that down in LA? And at the lake cabin when you broke up? And do you remember when you got together the very first time? Dawn thought he's Warren Beatty in the dorm. He would send couriers out to find women. That's because he couldn't talk to them. That's right. Out of the Hustler's Handbook. Wendy, I want to give credit to you for being Don's mouthpiece for almost 25 years. And God knows you've been Don's mouthpiece and his mouthpiece over and over and over again. You had to take over for Jan. That's true. That's quite a mouthpiece there. I was there when you first started dating and Wendy came to me for advice. This is kind of Wendy through Dawn, because that's how I know Wendy. And Wendy came to me and said, how do I communicate with Dawn? Remember that? And then you also talked about both, you talked about both of your problems that you have. And I have some help for you tonight. You talked about your gas problem, which Dawn could not tolerate. Which is kind of hypocritical, don't you think, Wendy? And then do you remember, how does Don dress in the mornings? He dresses with his boxers on for pajamas and a t-shirt. And he excessively itches himself. Am I true? Am I not true? Don, am I true? Is this true? Wendy's always had a gas problem, and Don has always excessively itched. He was as Don would quote, a stone fox in college. Is that a quote, Don? Is that a true quote? A stone fox. That's the highest compliment you could get. Nevertheless, she had the gas problem. Wendy came to me and said about communication. I said to Wendy to keep it very simple with Dawn. Questions, Wendy said, do you like albums? Do you like dogs? Do you like water skiing? I told Wendy never to ask Dawn, do you like me or are we friends? Never use that. Learn a common activity like playing the air guitar, which Wendy learned to play with a blank look. She did that very well. Give gifts like quarters for playing foosball. Very well. Well, let me tell you what logic is to Wendy. Logic is to Wendy is the following. Well, if we're having our one friend over for dinner, why don't invite as many relatives and neighbors and anybody we see on the street? We're already preparing for one guest. Why not have 12 or 15 or 30 or 40? We have 12 refrigerators. That's the best Wendy could do with logic. In fact, that's been her logic all of her life, is more. Now, in closing, I would say, but in all honesty, Wendy is the personification of the expression, you're a good sport. Wendy has always been optimistic, and it's always to others. Wendy is the glue to the Wendy and Don Hannell household.
Is there anyone else that'd like to come up and say something before we get into some slides?
Huh?
Anyone else? No?
Randy!
Oh, wait. Okay, here we go.